Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Cambridge Paper 1 paper from 2019 May. Let's get started. Question number 1 says, work out 3 over 4 as a decimal. Now, in order to work this out as a decimal, you just put it in the calculator or you can do it manually. One easy way to do this is to multiply the fraction by something that gives you a denominator of 100. That way you can just figure it out in your head. You can multiply the 4 by 25 to get 100. And the same thing happens at the top. So you get 75 over 100, which is 0.75. The next question says, work out 120 as a percentage of $16. Just divide 120 by 16 and multiply that by 100. And if you plug that in the calculator, you will get roughly, 7.5%. Moving on to question number 3 now. It says 5y minus 6py. Factorize it. All right. Well, the greatest common factor is clearly y, as it's common to both the terms. We're going to take that out. Y, what remains on the inside, is going to be, if you divide 5y by y, you get 5, and obviously 6py factorized out with the y, you're going to get 6p. And so the final answer is y in the brackets, 5 minus 6p. Let's take a look at question number 4. It says a bag contains green balls and red balls only. A ball is taken at random from the bag. The probability of taking a green ball is 0.38. Write down the probability of taking a red ball and B, a blue ball. Now, the probability of taking a blue ball is actually obviously 0 because there are no blue balls in the bag. However, the probability of taking a red ball can be found like this. Think about it like this. You've got 2 things in the bag, a green ball and a red ball. The probability of getting a red ball is the probability of getting a green ball is 0.38, while the probability of getting a red ball is unknown. Well, if you multiply that green ball's probability by 100, you get 38%. And so that means that the probability of getting the red ball is simply 62%, because 62 plus 38 adds up to 100. Probability of getting a red ball is thus simply 62%, while the blue ball is simply 0%. Moving on to the next page, it says on a Monday, the temperature at midday is 4 Celsius, and the temperature at midnight is negative 3 Celsius. Work out the difference between these 2 temperatures. Well, the difference between the 2 temperatures, delta T, which is simply T2 minus T1. You can come up with this formula in your head, or another way, which I'll show in a minute, is something else, but let's take a look at this first. So you're going to have to say 4 minus 3, which is simply 7 degrees, which is the correct answer. And if you think about it, this is correct. Most people would just subtract 4 by 3 and they would get 1, which is wrong. Or, so yeah, that would be wrong. The way to think about it is like this. Imagine the temperature at midnight is negative 3 and it's right here on the number line. Let's put that there. So you got negative 2, negative 1, and you got 0. And then this is 1, 2, 3, 4. The difference between these 2 temperatures from negative 3 to 4 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is exactly what we have found. Let's move on to question number B now. It says, on Wednesday, the temperature at midday is negative 1 degrees. By 7 p.m., the temperature has fallen by 4 degrees. So work out the temperature at 7 p.m. When it says fallen, it means it goes down from negative 1 by 4 degrees. So basically subtracted by minus 4, which is negative 5 degrees. And that's the answer for B. Moving on to question number 6, it says the volume of a cuboid is 180 centimeter cube. The base is a square of side length 6 centimeters. The volume of a cuboid is length times width times height. But since they're saying it's a square, the length and the width are just going to be the same, which is 6. So 6 times height is equal to 180, which is the volume of this cuboid. Thus, the height is simply 180 divided by 6. And 180 divided by 6 would simply be 30. So the height of this cuboid is 30. Okay, sorry about that. It's actually going to be 6 times 6, which is 36, right? Because the length times width, and in this scenario, since it's a square, the length and the width are going to be the same thing. So 6 times 6, 36. That means 180 divided by 36. 180 divided by 36 would be about 5 centimeters. That's the height of this cuboid. Moving on to question number 7. Now it says, write the following numbers in standard form. Well, standard form is essentially the scientific notation. So you have to count the zeros that you have. Let's write the first one as 6.4, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6.4 times 10 to the power of 6. And the other one is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 times 10 to the power of negative 4. All right. Now, 6.4 times 10 to the power of 6. And now, the thing is, if you were to test your answer, you would find out that, okay, the second one would be correct, but the first one has a bit of a mistake. 6 means you've got essentially 6 zeros. So first 0 makes that into 64, and now you've got 5 zeros left, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, this is 1 extra 0 right there, right? In the question, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this means that this would be wrong, and you can actually use this to check your answer. As a result, the answer for this one is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6.4 times 10 to the power of 5 would be the correct answer, not to the power of 6. Let's move on to question number 8 now. Work out A, 4, negative 2, minus 1, and 5. Now, this is a 2 by 1 matrix. It's a very easy thing to do. You just have to subtract 4 by 1, negative 2 minus 5. So that's going to be 3 and minus 7. As for the second one, you just have to multiply the values by 6, so 18 and 0. Question number 9 says, Asif and Ben share $2,100 in the ratio of 3 to 7. And work out how much Asif receives. Now, this question is something you have to kind of use the analytical skills you learned about in algebra. Essentially, they're saying that Asif received 3 times the amount, 3 times X, whatever the amount is, which is below 2,100, while Ben received 7 times the amount. And in addition, so basically in these two, if you add them up, you get $2,100. So you basically came up with a formula for the amount of money they each have. So in total, they have 10x, which is 2,100, and x is simply $210. So now you can figure out the amount of money that Asif has. Asif is simply going to have 3 times x, which is 3 times 210, which is $630. That would be the answer to this question. Moving on to number 10 now, it says the length of a truck L meters is 8.2 meters, correct to 1 decimal place. Complete the statement about the value of L. Now, when they say it's 8.2 meters and it's correct to 1 decimal place, it was probably somewhere between 8.15, somewhere above that or equal to it, right? Because if you round this up, you get 8.2. But it was probably less than 8.25, and that's why you don't get 8.3. So it's between 8.15 and 8.25. And that would be the answer for this question. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for part 2 of this paper. Take care and best of luck.